Hi.
Doing?
Chilling. Just got done working out.
Was it a good workout?
It was all right.
It's good.
Pretty good. Got some filming done.
Good.
Got some maxing done, so I know where I'm sitting for when I go to do my max in 24 weeks.
Proud of you.
I'm talking about rearview mirror. I know we had something planned, but I wasn't really feeling that topic. I'm talking about the rearview mirror.
What about it? Are you quoting Jelly Roll?
I sure am. I love that quote. The rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield, right? I think one of the biggest problems with general, so many, just people in general, but with relationships too. I was thinking about this just a few minutes ago, is that so many people are trapped up in the rearview mirror. A lot of people get trapped up in how something used to be. They miss the adventure that's going on in front of them.
Yes.
They think about, you see it with a lot of relationships, they talk about how things used to be, and then things don't stay the same. Relationships grow, but a lot of people miss the growth because they mistakenly fixate on the newness that's not there for what is there, which is not comfortability, not comfortable, but I don't know what the word is I'm thinking of. It's like comfortable, but like knowing, but not comfort. So you swap out newness for something but when people do that, they feel like they lose something, but there's a lot more to gain. Does that make sense?
The instant gratification? No.
Not instant gratification. What's a different word for comfort than it's like something that you're not used to. It's not like you're used to it. It's not like you're comfortable, but it's
The excitement of something new.
take a relationship, for instance, right? A lot of people talk about how they don't like the spark gets lost, and sometimes doesn't really get lost. I think sometimes they mistake the spark being lost with that newness of a relationship. Does that make sense?
I think so.
So the excitement of a new relationship is one thing, but when you get into a relationship, they think that spark dies when it really doesn't. Just like there's a fire going now, but they don't really see that. I don't know if that's making sense.
It does.
So what do you think? I don't know if I just sprung this topic on you, but
Yes, you did. I need to collect my thoughts because I'm still scattered.
I'm trying to describe it a little bit because I'm not really describing it better. So I think a lot of people assume that, yes, a lot of times a relationship does that because they do start to lose that connection. But I think that maybe a lot of the times that connection doesn't get lost. They're just so busy looking in the fucking rearview mirror, thinking about what something used to be, that they're completely missing not only what is there now, but what there could be if they focused on what's there now and what could be.
You gotta try new things and spice it up
Well, absolutely.
in all aspects. Because if you do the same shit every day, I think it's boring. It's good to have a routine, but literally like doing the same thing with your partner every day, that's a yawn and a no thanks.
Well, that's why you got to have some variety.
And spontaneity.
But I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of times
They lose focus.
that's not even in my mind. No, it's not they lose focus. They're just so focused on the past that they're not even seeing what's there.
But the past doesn't exist. Only you make it exist.
I know. I don't ever look at the past. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not saying that you do.
Yeah, exactly. You don't compare the past. The past is the past.
And only you make the past happen, right? There's no past and there's no future. Only the right now. And only you live in the past and you can't live in the future. You can work towards the future, but you don't know what's going to come of it. There's no for sure way to tell what's going to happen in an hour from now, in 5 minutes from now, or 5 years from now, 20 years from now. There's no for sure way to tell what's going to happen.
Oh.
5 minutes from now, it's not promised. A minute from now is not promised. You don't know if somebody's going to do a drive-by shooting. You don't know if you're going to drop dead of a heart attack. You don't know if you're going to live or die. You need to make every second count and, like you said, stop focusing on the past. You are not the past. The past is what has created you to be who you are today. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to change that. If you are in a shitty place or not. If you don't like where you are, then obviously you need to do the work in order to create that change, have that change happen. Am I veering away from you?
I think so. I think you got on a different train there, babe. But that is true. You make good points, though. That is very true.
But yeah, people in relationships, they definitely, I mean, I was guilty of that an hour ago. Focusing on the past and not realizing what is right in front of me and what needs to be done and changed for next time.
I know. I think a lot of us do that, though. I think a lot of us do that. I think it's pretty common. I think that what's important is being aware of that, bringing that into awareness. Because I used to live in the past a lot. Like, I used to sit there and think about the past constantly. Oh, this was the good day, or that was the good days, or why can't it used to be anymore? Why can't thinking back like how, wow, this day was so good. And I realized that I don't know when it happened, but I just stopped doing that completely. One of my biggest things that I told myself is that I will never say that a day in the past is the best day. But somebody says back in the good old days, well, my good old days haven't even happened yet. My best day is still yet to come. My best day with you is still yet to come. My best version of myself is still yet to come. My best everything, our greatest adventure still hasn't happened yet. And then when it does happen, then the next one that happens is going to be the most greatest one.
But how do you know that?
Because I make it that. I will never ever.
You haven't had your best day with me yet?
I've had my best day so far, but not the best day of my life yet. I won't have the best day of my life until I die. You don't ever want to look at your life. You never want to look at your life and say, remember that day 5 years ago? That was the best day ever. Because then you're constantly like, well, it's not downhill from there. No, you always have to have something to look for. Your best version of yourself should never be in the past. It should always be in the future. Best.
But you're never done being your best self.
Exactly. You'll never hear me say, when people tell me, oh, you're getting older, just wait. No, when I get older, I'll be better than I am today. When we get older, our relationship will be better than what it is today.
Yes.
But a lot of people are too busy living in the past.
That is true.
And I think that when people live in the past, especially when it comes to relationships, they miss the door that's open. Miss the door that's open in front of you. Looking backwards, looking at what was behind you, and now you're missing what's in front of you. And who was that? I was watching somebody, and they said that they were doing. He was like a neuroscientist, and he's also like metaphysical. He's like in the metaphysics too. But he was like, generally, the memories that we think we remember is not even how it happened. We generally remember it completely wrong. I mean, of course, you don't know because it's just a memory at that time. Mm-hmm. But 9 times, generally, when we are living a memory, it's something that we've made up in our head. We made that situation up different than how it actually happened. So we're like robbing ourselves of this present moment, thinking about something that happened in the past that actually didn't even really happen in the way we're thinking about it.
I got distracted. Hold, please. Did you know that every person around you is not the same person? I know this is very off topic. Every person around you is not the same person to somebody else. You are their own made up version.
Mm-hmm. I think that's interesting, isn't it? That's what I want to talk about with Julian one time, because it was like I said, it's a total mind bender when you start breaking it down and thinking about it. You and I could be looking at a person and we will see two completely different people. Is that what you mean? Maybe not visually, but that person to us, our perception is that person that I am perceiving is completely different from the person you are perceiving.
That's happened to us so many times.
Mm-hmm. That's part of that you don't see others how they are, you see others how you are thing.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. To me, you are a version of myself in a different form.
Yep.
And then your dad is a version of me in a different form. And his wife is a version of me in a different form.
Yep.
Same with everybody else that we know. Everybody is a version of us in a different form. I love how I just changed topics completely.
Yes, you did. But I like that topic though. That's kind of like two things on that one. That is things that you don't like about other people are things that are in you. Now, you might say somebody can be very judgmental and you don't like it, but it's because you are a judgmental person and you don't really necessarily like that about yourself, but it's something that's not so much in your conscience. Take this example, for instance. Me and my dad, we used to talk politics, and my dad hates Donald Trump. My dad despises Donald Trump because when he looks at Donald Trump, he sees an arrogant asshole. When I see Donald Trump, I see somebody that's very driven, somebody that has a lot of confidence, very overly confident, but a lot of confidence, but somebody that's very, very driven and determined.
Right.
See, my dad has a lot of insecurities about himself, that his ego is very prevalent in my dad. And so my dad has a lot of arrogance in a way to make up for his insecurities. But he doesn't know that. He doesn't see that. But he sees it in other people. So that's part of his shadow that he does not like. Because my dad, he's not an arrogant person and an arrogant asshole person, but he has a lot of arrogance about him to make up for his insecurities, right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But when I see Donald Trump, I see somebody that's very driven and determined, because that's what I am. That's what I see in myself. So I see that in him. I don't see arrogance and stuff. Yes, I can see how somebody can see he's arrogant, but I see a lot of confidence.
Right.
And so I think it's a fascinating thought that that we are all just different versions. Everyone is just a different version of me. And that kind of goes back to the law of one collective conscience. So the creator divided itself into infinite pieces of conscience, infinite beings, so it can observe everything through different perspectives. So we are all just really one and the same. But did you know this too, that we don't really perceive ourselves as we are necessarily. We see ourselves how we think other people see us. That's kind of like a little brain bender on the one that you're talking about just a little bit ago. So like if I'm talking to one person, I might see myself differently than if I'm talking to another person sometimes, because we are really we view ourselves through what we think, through our perception of other people. It's kind of a brain bender. We went way off topic. You're good at that.
I'm not sorry about it.
Are you getting uncomfortable with our other topic?
Was I getting uncomfortable with it?
No.
I just got distracted by kids.
But I like the topic we got onto.
I forget what we were talking about. Rearview mirrors and
which time?
unfocused. Too many people are focused on the past.